Hi, this is Majnu, and here is again one of my correspondence chess games. I played this one, well, it ended about a week ago, and it's an interesting game. I was lucky at the end, I must say. I won the game, but I was lucky. My opponent made a very bad mistake. But the game itself is interesting to see. I'll show you. It's a Queen's Gambit, the semi-Slav variation. And I played, after bishop to d6 here, I played the move g4. And this move g4 is a move that has been played lately a few times by Magnus Carlsen. And it's a very interesting approach. White makes the position dynamic immediately by playing g4, threatening g5. And if black takes on g4, accepts the pawn sacrifice, and rook to g1 follows. Black can take on h2, but then after knight takes h2, bishop takes, rook takes on g7. So the compensation for white is that white has an active piece here in the territorium of black, and after castling queenside, another rook can be brought into this attack. This is the idea of this move g4. We also see this move g4 after the move bishop to e7. Bishop e7 and bishop d6 are the two most popular moves in this variation, and g4 is also played in this case. In the game, bishop d6, g4, and my opponent didn't take on g4. He played bishop to b4, pinning my knight on c3 and preparing to bring his knight to e4. So what I did, I played bishop to d2. He played queen to e7. It's an important move for, on one hand, preparing eventually castling queenside, and also to maybe in some variations advance the e-pawn to liberate this light square bishop. I played rook to g1. He took on c3. I took with the bishop, and he played now knight to e4. I played bishop to d3, and now here he took on c3. Queen takes c3. So I lost the bishop's pair, but I don't really mind, because this dark square bishop that I had was not very active, so I think it's alright. Now he took on c4, and I took with the bishop, and here he castled kingside. Now by castling kingside, he gave me ideas for attacking on this kingside. I decided to play g5, and the idea of g5 was to have control over f6, so he doesn't play knight to f6 and then knight to e4. So that's why I played g5, and he responded correctly by attacking on the other side, the queen side, by playing b5. Bishop to d3. Now bishop b7, and here I made a very stupid mistake actually. I played the move b4 with the idea of preventing c5, and the stupid thing is that, of course, I'm not preventing anything, because he can play c5 here, since his bishop attacks my knight on f3. So when I saw this happening, I realized that I was giving away all my advantage and all my position. I defended now my knight on f3 by playing rook to g3, and he played c4, bishop to c2. So now not only he has opened this beautiful diagonal for his bishop, he also has advanced his pawn from c6 to c4. So this pawn that was blocking the bishop and could in the future maybe become a weakness is now a passed pawn on c4. Now here he made a decision that I don't think is the right one, because it gave me possibilities to attack. He played the move f5, and I doubted whether to play g6 or g takes f6, and I chose the second option, g takes f6 en passant. Queen takes, and now I played e4. So now I'm controlling the center again. I can eventually advance this pawn to e5 to open once more this diagonal. I can also castle queenside and then bring my rook to the g file to attack and king. He played queen to f4, and now he's threatening to take on e4, and I chose here to play queen to e3. At first, my first thought was that I don't want to trade queens, but I think I really have to do this now, because there is no other way to defend this e4 pawn. I don't want to play d5, because then that would open the center. My king is still in the middle, so I just want to get rid of this queen from f4. Now my opponent didn't take the queen on e3, but he played queen to f7. Now I castled queenside. He played a5, and I played my rook to g1. Now g6, preventing rook takes g7. And here my idea was to play knight to g5, but I didn't want him to take then on f2 with the queen. So what I did is I played rook to g2, defending f2, but I actually underestimated the counter chances for black, because he took now on b4, and there are counter chances now for white. For black. He's attacking my a2 pawn. I played knight to g5, attacking his queen, and what black did here, this is almost the end of the game, he played queen to e7, and that's a big mistake. The idea is clear, that he wants to play eventually b3 followed by queen to a3 check, or taking on a2 and then later playing b3 and queen to a3 and then attacking my king. But the thing is that I have now a tactical way to win the game, and he missed it. It's taking on h7. Knight takes h7. After queen takes h7, I took on g6, and here he resigned, because he's losing his queen if he goes to h8, and rook to h6 follows, and if he goes to f7 here, then again rook to h6 wins the queen. There is no way to escape. So this was a sudden end in this game. If he had played, instead of queen to e7, queen to f4, it would have been very interesting. The position is actually better for black. After trading queens here, rook takes, I can take on e6, and the rook must go away again. And now, well, the thing is that these two pawns over here look dangerous, and I think that black has good chances here. Still, it's not over, of course. I can, for example, play d5, defending my knight and blocking this bishop, but then a2 will fall, and then it becomes dangerous, this pawns on b4 and c4. So I think black has a very good position here. So that's what I said. I was lucky at the end that my opponent played queen to e7 here, allowing this sudden attack on h7 and g6. So well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if I get the chance again to play this variation with g4 here, I will certainly do it, because it brings really interesting and dynamic positions. Alright, I'll see you next time on YouTube, and leave your comments. Goodbye.